Hello, good day. Today we are going to talk about different types of elasticities. As you remember, the elasticity actually is a measure of responsiveness. It measures the percentage change in one variable due to percentage change in another variable. Today we are going to talk about the other kinds of the elasticities that actually are available to understand the behavior of the markets. Like say, for example, when you look at the responsiveness of the quantity demand due to the change or to the determinants of the quantity demand and quantity supply, you actually are trying to determine the responsiveness of other variables that basically create a kind of an impact on the demand or the supply of the product. As you know, that elasticity does not just apply to the responsiveness of supply and demand to the changes in price of a product. Quantity demand along with the price depends on so many factors, like say, for example, incomes of the individuals, tastes and preferences, population, expectations about the future prices and the price of related commodities. When you actually try to determine the responsiveness of the quantity demand to changes in these all variables, like there are the other types of the elasticities along with the price elasticity demand. Similarly, the supply curve or the supply behavior of the individuals does not only depend on the price of the product, it also depends on the cost of production. It depends on the weather, it depends on the new technologies that come and the government policies. So elasticity can be measured for any determinant of supply and demand, not just the price. For example, we are actually going to talk about two very different kinds of elasticities and the two specific types of the elasticities. Like say, for example, income elasticity of demand. For most products, most of the times, the income elasticity of demand is positive. The income elasticity of demand actually measures that how the quantity demand or the demand changes when the income of an individual changes. When the income of an individual increases, he actually has got more money to spend. And when the income of an individual decreases, he has got less money to spend. So whatever extra money he gets or whatever actually lesser money he actually has now can affect the quantity that a person demands for a lot of products. So the percentage change in quantity demand divided by the percentage change in income can be actually expressed as the income elasticity of demand. So a rise in income, what actually the effect the rise in income creates on the quantity demand of some product? A rise in income will cause an increase in the quantity demand for some products that are normal. The normal goods are such goods for which the demand increases when your income increases. But along with the normal goods, some of the goods that we consume in our bundle basically are called inferior goods. The inferior goods are those goods for which the impact of the increase in income is negative on their demand. Like, say, for example, a person can be in a situation when he is using, say, for example, secondhand clothes. The demand for the secondhand clothes does not increase with the increase in income, rather it decreases with the increase in income. Similarly, if you are using some low quality brands of some kind of a product, like say, for example, some cooking oil or some kind of a soap or shampoo, when the income of your increases, you do not increase their demand, rather you decrease their demand. So the such products basically are called the inferior goods. So inferior goods basically have got the negative income elasticity of demand. So another kind of elasticity or another type of the elasticity is a cross price elasticity. Like say, for example, as you remember, in the demand functions, we actually have seen that the quantity demand does not depend only on the price of its own product. It also depends on the price of the products that basically are used as a substitute of that product or used as along with the complements of the products. So whenever the price of those all commodities basically change, the quantity demand of some product changes. Like say, for example, when the price of petrol increases, how it affects the quantity demand of gas. Say, for example, CNG, the compressed natural gas. So that is what basically happens. The goods that basically are affecting the cross price elasticity can be substitutes or complements. The complements goods have negative cross price elasticities because, these two things are used together. When the price of any commodity increases, the quantity demand over the decreases. That's what basically creates a negative relationship. Similarly, if good A is a complement for good B, like coffee and sugar, then a higher price of B will mean a lower quantity of A consumed. And the substitute goods have a positive cross-price elasticity. The substitutes are the goods that basically are used at the place of one another, like say, for example, the petrol and the CNG. When the price of petrol increases, the quantity demand for the CNG increases. Similarly, if the price of tea increases, the demand for coffee increases. Similarly, if the say, for example, if you are just using the Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola as the two substitutes, If the price of one particular kind of a brand increases, the quantity demand of the other product increases. So the increase in the price actually leads to increase in the quantity of others. So the relationship between them is positive. So the elasticity between these two products will be positive as well. Thank you for joining us.